evening, everyone. Welcome to the American Sports Connection. I am your host, the one and only Joey Railroads. I'm here with my buddy Jason. How's it going, dude?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too great, but not too bad.
It's just like everybody's got that, like, cold or sinuses or something going on.
Yeah, it's the Christmas bug, man. I think that's what it is, because it seems like every year I end up sick on Christmas. Because right around Christmas you be around a lot more people, because usually with family or whatever, and then you get something.
Yeah, you always get, like, some type of little bug.
Yep, and it doesn't help when it's like 65 degrees yesterday or the day before or whatever, and then 30 today and raining, and but
Yeah. All right, before we get started, everyone, if they want to check us out on social media, it's facebook.com/American Sports Connection or on Twitter at AMSportsCon pod P. Or if you want to get a hold of Jason and talk to him about anything, you can catch him on Twitter at A Geek of Nature, all one word.
yeah, anything. We talk about football. I don't know. Dung beetles, if you're into bugs, that doesn't matter.
All right. So, what did you think of Week 16 this past week in the league?
I enjoyed a good portion of it. I enjoyed the Thursday night game, obviously. Miami game in Buffalo was good. I mean, we'll get into them. I'm just going to throw a couple out there that I thought were good games. Seattle and Arizona was really good. New Orleans, Tampa was a good game. Pittsburgh and Baltimore was a really good game. That's about it. But a pretty good week. And I mean, when you get into Week 16, you know that it's going to have a big, it's going to determine what's going to happen, in 2 weeks, being the playoffs and stuff. I think this week there was actually, at least half of the playoff seeds clinched or are determined now.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
No, you're all right, dude. All right, well, let's get into it then. We had the final Thursday night game of the year. The Eagles hanging on and beating the Giants 24-19.
Yeah, it was, man, I think the last 2 weeks, even in the loss the week before, which kind of wasn't his fault because he did what he could, and this week I think Carson Wentz kind of turned the corner overall as a quarterback, getting away from pressure and getting the ball out and running with the football and everything. I think you're starting to see him become a little bit maybe more comfortable, better at shedding tackles and everything and sacks and everything. And I was really impressed with him the last couple of weeks. And another thing that stood out to me is this was a pretty big game for the Giants because they needed it to clinch their playoff spot. And Eli Manning kind of threw it away. He throws a pick six early, and he throws 2 more interceptions, 1 late in the game.
I was going to say they came out flat.
Yeah, Malcolm Jenkins got him twice. Yeah, they did come out flat. The secondary did too, letting Aguilar beat him for, a 40-yard touchdown or something?
Yeah, that's inexcusable.
Yeah, what happened? That was later. It was the long run by Sproles. The 25-yard touchdown run by Sproles. Yeah. The 40-yard catch was later in the second quarter. Yeah, because this game was 14-0 and then 21-6 at one time, and then the Eagles only added a field goal, a Sturgis field goal, which kind of ended up being a big field goal because it made the Giants go for a touchdown late instead of 3 points to possibly tie or win.
Yeah.
So, hey, kudos to the Eagles, man. They showed up. It was a home game, primetime game. They wore those color rush, which I think they're the only ones in the NFL that I really can stand, because I like the Eagles' black uniforms. And
I like
these ones. Yeah, these ones just added extra black with the socks or whatever, and I like them. But yeah, I don't think really anything else was big in this game. I think it's crazy that the Giants threw the ball 63 times, but
well, what are you
going to do? Yeah,
All
exactly.
Right. moving on, we have the Packers beating up on the Vikings 38-25.
Yeah, this was like a blowout early, wasn't it?
This score does not dictate the game.
Not at all.
The Vikings scored 12 points late in this game.
Yeah, the last 4 minutes of the game. It was 38-13. And Aaron Rodgers, man, I think he shut a lot of people up. Possibly me being one of them, because I was down on him early in the year. Because remember, I was like, well, he's getting a little older. He's a little banged up. But, hey, man, he has shown over the last however many weeks that when Green Bay needs a win, he's out there to get the win. And he got him. He pretty much ripped apart the Vikings defense, a good Vikings defense at that.
I'm going to say this. If they get in, they're going to be very dangerous.
I absolutely agree, because they're getting healthier, man. They just need to run the ball. They can't run the ball. That's their only problem. Like, right now, I think the Ty Montgomery dude is okay. I don't think he's bad. I don't think he's great. But they really need, like, that offensive line to step up going forward and just start pounding teams more, too. Because when they've won, they've always done it on the ground as well. With Lacey and Starks and those guys, they've always had a good enough run game to where it opened it up more for Rodgers, where pass rush, blitzing, pass rushing had to be done at your own,
and you're going to
possible
need
demise.
To run the ball at least somewhat in the playoffs.
Well, they're going to be the team like Dallas. They have to run the ball. I don't think they need to. They have to, because Dallas is going to do it. Dallas is going to control the time of possession against you and keep Rodgers off the field. So they're going to have to try to counter it by keeping Rodgers on the field.
And keeping Elliott off the field.
Exactly. Elliott and Des Bryant.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, there's not really a lot to talk about this game because it was ugly.
You had quarterback padded up stats, but Rodgers did his earlier when the game counted, and then Bradford came up late and threw 2 late touchdowns, ended up with 3 touchdowns. But I was happy with this game. I mean, we have the Eagles have the Vikings first round pick, so the more they lose, the better our pick's looking. And actually, we could actually end up 1 pick different than them when it comes to the draft now. So everybody's thinking how bad the Eagles are. Well, Minnesota has fallen way down.
They really have. Lance asks, he said, do we think Eddie Lacy will be back next year with the Packers, or do they move on?
That's a good question. To be honest with you, at this point, I think they may want to just go out and try to get a back that they know isn't going to gain weight, get hurt, have to lose weight, have to recover. You know what I mean? I think it's time to maybe go out and get a guy that doesn't have a lot of ifs and buts with him, and then just get a guy who's good. A guy that I think would fit their team pretty well is the Eagles' Ryan Matthews. I think would fit Green Bay pretty well. But they got to get an offensive line, too. I mean, they let go one of their best linemen during the preseason, right?
Yeah.
Sitton, who went to Chicago.
He went to the Bears.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense. I guess financially it did, but, I mean, I would rather have my running game and my quarterback protected and with him instead of worrying about how much money you got to pay him.
I agree. All right, next, this is one of my shockers of the week. Jacksonville just throttling the Titans 38-17.
Well, Jacksonville's throttled the Jaguars a lot of weeks before this week, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It did not surprise me. What was the first thing I said to you when this game was about over? If you remember.
I don't remember off the top of my head.
I messaged you one thing. Jacksonville fires Gus Bradley, and they play a great football game. That's what I said to you. And look what happens. The talent is there, man. And I think the big thing to come out of this game, because this game didn't have much. I mean, I guess the Tennessee had a little playoff implications in the division, right?
Yeah.
They actually did, but now they're done. Mariota, that injury, man, and you never want to see a young guy like him. You never want to see anybody get hurt, but a young guy like him, because you didn't know if it was going to be a severe injury. It turned out to be, a fractured leg?
Fibula.
Fibula, yeah, which is your leg. I was like, man, because they carted him off and it looked like he might have been crying a little bit. But, hey, we'll get into another one of those injuries later. But this game didn't really do too much for me. I mean, it just didn't do nothing for me. I think finally you had, Bortles play pretty well. Not great, pretty well. They ran the ball decent.
So that's good for him.
Yeah, he didn't throw an interception. Yeah, I'll give him that. Only problem is his wide receiver threw as many touchdowns as he did.
Yeah, there you go.
One, Marquise Lee threw a touchdown. So that dude is a guy that I would really like to see step up for them, Marquise Lee, because I think if him, Hearns, and Robinson, all those guys, they have weapons, man.
Julius
and they have
Thomas.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to say they have Julius Thomas. Yeah. Yeah, nothing else really stood out. Their kicker had a good game, but who cares? He's a kicker. Unless he's kicking a game winner, I really don't care about kickers. But their punter had an excellent game. I don't really.
Yeah, that's all I really got. All right, we're gonna move on to this, and this will probably be the least game we talk about. The Patriots throttle the Jets 41-3.
Yeah, throttle is maybe an understatement, man. The Patriots look locked and loaded for the playoffs. Like, I think they have even with Gronk out right now, I can't find a big hole in that team because they're still moving the ball amazingly well. They have 3 running backs that can get the job done right now. Dion Lewis, LeGarrette Blount, and James White. They have Brady.
The only weakness I think they have is their offensive line.
I had to take a sip. Hold on. The only thing that I would argue against that is they have the ability to get the ball out so quick.
It's not going to matter. Remember this because we wrote it down. Lance's pick came true. The Browns finally win a game.
Yeah, come on. Are we really going to give him credit for that? Hey, he picked them, but there you go. The Browns won a football game. The Browns are ruining the first overall pick. That should be the headline.
That's funny, yeah. But I'll give them credit. They played hard.
Yeah, look, I will say this. And you might not agree. You may agree. It doesn't matter because they're the Browns. But I think if the Browns would have had RG3 for a bigger portion of this season, they would have at least 3 or 4 wins. That's not saying much, but I think he just has enough talent to where he could have won them a couple of games in there. I mean, they're still a terrible team, but I just think he's a better quarterback than everything else they have. And they ran the ball well Sunday, which is huge for them.
Lance saying that Cleveland's going to beat Pittsburgh on Sunday as well.
Yeah, Lance needs to stay off of that wacky weed. If they beat Pittsburgh, it'll be because Pittsburgh has already clinched, and they really can't go anywhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey,
now,
they beat Pittsburgh.
And I know how I feel about this, but do the Browns go and draft a quarterback or stick with RG3?
I think they draft one because they have
2
first-round picks. Yeah, they have the Eagles pick, which is going to probably end up around 12, maybe 10 to 12. You think 13?
Somewhere in there.
So if you draft a quarterback, you don't have to take one right at the top of the draft. You could take the best player available and then take the quarterback. So,
which the best player available I keep here at number 1 is Myles Garrett from Texas A&M.
Yeah. I mean, there you go. You don't have to take they can they could even move around if they wanted to. They don't have to take that top guy. They could trade that pick out, and even build more for the future because they have the Eagles pick too. So they need football guys that know what they're doing, though. Like, Cleveland has never had that. If you look back, they're notorious for drafting bombs in the first round. And by what I mean by bomb is, I mean just players that blow up in their faces.
Tim Couch, for example.
Yeah, Tim Couch taken before McNabb that year. Look who ends up being the better quarterback. Who else have they taken? The running back, that one running back that blew up on them in the first round. The kid from here, right?
Willie
Green. William Green. Yeah, Willie Green. Yeah. Oops, my God, was that kid talented. Yeah. I saw him score 6 touchdowns in a game against my high school and destroy Bridgeton High. So then he did it for Boston College against Notre Dame a couple times. Yeah. So I saw him do it. Yeah, that guy was a thorn in my favorite football team's sides. I have to give it to against the Eagles, but but I'm getting way off topic.
No, that's all right.
Yeah, man, I think they take a quarterback, but I'm not sure that they do it with the first pick, if they get the first pick or the second pick. I'm partial to the kid from Notre Dame, you know that, DeShone Kizer.
Yeah.
I don't know if he goes right up top, but I think he's a first-round talent.
Like
maybe.
Lance just said they drafted Trent Richardson early, too.
Oh, yeah, Lance is right. Oh, man. Boy, did that hurt. Yeah, they need...
And then they traded him to the Colts and got a first-round pick for him.
Yeah, what were the Colts thinking?
Ooh.
But wait. Brandon Weeden... Remember that pick?
Yeah.
A 27-year-old rookie quarterback in the first round?
Yeah.
Come on. All right, yeah, I don't have much else to say about that game unless you... Because, hey, Cleveland got their first win. I think that's enough to say.
Yeah, I agree.
And head coach out there in San Diego needs to go, and I think it's time for them to rebuild. San Diego.
Yeah, because Rogers... Why do I want to call him Rogers? Rivers is 35.
Yeah, he's getting up there, man. I know him and Manning came in the same year because that was the swap.
Lance said the Browns should trade their first-round pick for Tony Romo.
There you go.
That's a win-win.
They would do it, too.
They really would.
Don't tempt them.
All right, moving right along. We have the Redskins beating up on the Bears, 41-21.
Yeah, not another game that just wasn't a surprise. It actually stayed pretty tight early, didn't it? No, it didn't. It wasn't tight early. The Redskins came out and just punched them in the face.
14 at the half.
Yeah, 24-7 right before the half. Yeah, they got that touchdown pass to Cameron Meredith. Yeah, the Redskins possibly getting in the playoffs with this win. They need a couple things to fall a couple different ways, right?
Yeah, they need win and so-and-so lose, and, Yeah,
they need a win and a Detroit loss is all they need, and they're in.
Wow.
Yeah, that's all they need. And Detroit's playing Green Bay, so that's all they need. And who does Washington play this week? Do you happen to have the schedule right there? Whoa, that's a playoff game right there, man. That's big. It's like a pre first week of a playoff game. We get a fight because if the Giants lose,
they could still potentially they're in.
They're in because of the loss from Tampa.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, Tampa's loss put them in. The Giants are in. But the Giants could ruin Washington's season by bumping them, which is pretty big. That's kind of weird, man. Do you sit your starters because you know you're already in and possibly let your rival get in? Or, man, that's rough. What do you do there? I would try to beat them. I would try to knock them out, to be honest with you.
Yeah. But it's the whole risk of getting somebody injured, too.
Yeah, because the reward may not be... Because you're already there, so you already got the playoff spot, and the only reward would be knocking a rival out, which, if you think you can beat them in the playoffs either way, who cares, right?
Exactly.
But we'll see. this game really, I mean, Cousins had a good game. This game wasn't really much. I mean, you have the Bears. Matt Barkley's their quarterback. Who cares about the Bears? That's another team that needs a total rebuild.
They're a top 3-4 pick in the draft.
There's something like that, right?
Yeah,
they have 3 wins.
3-12.
Yeah, you have San Francisco, worse than them, Jacksonville possibly, and Cleveland. So they are a top 3 team right now for the draft.
All right. Well, let's move it along. We have next the Falcons beating Carolina 33-16.
I think I picked Carolina in this game. I'm not sure, but man, the Falcons look pretty good, dude. Like they clinched the NFC South title. They're getting the home game, which looks like they're going to be playing maybe Detroit, right?
Yeah.
No, wait. Do they have
things fall in week 17?
Yeah, they may get the bye, right? Right now they are.
Atlanta's the 2 seed as of right now.
Oh, so they're looking at the bye. So if they want to win again, they'll get the bye and they'll get the home game. Obviously, they lose and Seattle wins. Seattle gets the bye.
Yeah.
Ooh. And then it could possibly be Atlanta against Detroit, and then Green Bay and the Giants. Man, they would be 2 pretty good games, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But yeah,
this game wasn't
Atlanta,
close.
No.
Like,
no, this was,
and them they just did whatever they wanted offensively.
Yeah, this was what's his name? Matt Bryant too had 4 field goals.
Yeah.
This was Carolina just showing their season, what it's been, man. They're a major disappointment. I think they might be the biggest disappointment in the NFL this year because Denver's up there too, obviously now because they're out. But yeah, I think Carolina's going to come back good next year, though. Like I think they have enough
Super
talent.
Bowl hangover.
It really is. I mean, look at both of the teams. Well, Denver's problem is they don't have a quarterback or an offensive line or a running game. Pick one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this game really wasn't anything to talk much about.
All right. Well, then we'll move on to one of the more exciting games this week. The Dolphins beating the Bills in overtime, 34-31.
The Dolphins beating the Ryan brothers right out of a job.
Yeah.
Can we say that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Whoops.
You can say
Andrew Franks with 2 field goals to win the game for who the hell is Andrew Franks?
I have no idea.
55-yarder to tie it though with 3 seconds left.
Rex tried to call a timeout, and the refs ignored him when the guy made the field goal.
Yeah, and then I think Rex tried to call the owner the next day, and he ignored him when he wanted his job to stay intact. Yeah. Look, I don't think Buffalo is a bad team. I really don't. I just don't think. I don't think Rex Ryan is a really good coach. To be honest with you, I don't.
Rated. I
believe so too. So now he can go home and continue his foot fetish or whatever he has. I don't remember. Here's my joke of the week. Tyrod Taylor is not going to start on Sunday. He had a huge game against Miami. He did not lose that game for them. Their defense did.
Do you want to know why they're not playing him?
Why?
Because he has a huge downside guarantee that if he gets injured in Week 17, like the Bills would have to pay a crazy amount of money on his contract.
Wow, that is just not right, man. That's what I hate about the financial side and contract side, the contractual side of the NFL. It's just stuff like that is garbage, if you ask me.
Yeah.
Same thing with Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Until they restructured. Yeah, this game was good though, man. That Ajayi had another 200-yard rushing game. So
yeah, he's been a big boost for them this year.
That's what, his 3rd of the year, right?
And just think, if Denver didn't match Miami's offer for C.J. Anderson, the kid probably would have never played.
That's true. And just think about this, too. He's got 3 200-yard rushing games, and he has 1,200 rushing yards this year. So half of his rushing yards came in 3 games.
That's
so
crazy.
He's not amazingly consistent.
Well, maybe because he's just super young. I don't know. He
missed a game, too.
Yeah. What are you going to do? But hey, credit to Miami. They're 10-5 and probably going to make the playoffs.
They're in, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Let me see. Yeah, they clinched. They're in.
Good for them.
Hey, well, yeah. Maybe they can run the ball 200 yards in the playoffs.
You never know.
And they're getting, what's his name back, right? Tannehill?
Yeah.
That's great for them.
All right, then. We'll move on. We have the Raiders hanging on and beating the Colts 33-25.
Yeah, Raiders hang on and beat the Colts, and I think their season ended on Sunday, which I hate to say, but Derek Carr is done, and I think that's it for them because I don't think Matt McGloin is going to take them any further than they.
I told you this, I think, when I listened to you after this game, that Adam was on suicide watch after this. When
yeah,
got hurt.
Yeah, it's not good, man. I think they're done. McGloin is not going to win them football games. I'm sorry, but in the regular season, he might win them a couple, but you're playing a playoff team in 2 weeks. Well, less than 2 weeks now. So
just have to see,
yeah, my gut would tell me that they're done, but we'll see. Like you said,
my thing I want to ask, and because this guy has underperformed 2 years in a row, and I mean, granted, one was without luck. Is Pagano finally going to get shipped out?
Well, remember we had a talk about this, and I said I think maybe the Colts should move Luck. Now, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with Luck. He's going to be, 27, 28 by the start of next year.
By the time they get a winner, he's going to be 32.
30, 32, 31. Yeah, he's not going to be the youngest of guys. Do you possibly clean house out there in Indianapolis?
If anything, I get rid of that GM Greekson. He's been terrible.
Yeah, I think their coach and their GM need to go. I think it's time for the old pill popper guy that they have running the team out there. Whatever his name is.
Yeah, just said this is true. I forgot. He said this game
allegedly, by the way.
Leg.
I'm sorry, allegedly.
Yeah, 4 broken legs this week.
Yeah, you had Carr, Mariota, Lockett, and who broke their leg in this game?
It was Carr in this game.
Oh, I'm confused there. I need less cold medicine. I'm sorry.
But yeah, it was a crazy week for injuries.
Yeah, it sucks too, man. It's like going into the playoffs now. You have Carr hurt. I wanted to see what they would do in the playoffs. I was excited to see what Oakland had.
I thought they could have been a legit Super Bowl contender.
Yeah, I can't doubt them, man. They've had a really, really, really good year, and it's possible. But now, what are you going to do?
Yeah, it
sucks. Yeah, I hate to say it like that, but yeah.
Well, I'll do my Chris Jericho reference because I'm pretty sure I messaged you this. My buddy Adam said the Colts are officially on the list.
On the list, yeah. Yeah, it just sucked because you could see him telling the guy that it was broken when it happened, and that.
And Trent Cole, unfortunately, did it.
Yeah, I broke my leg before. I know when it happens, it's broken. So when Carr, Mariota, those guys broke it, they knew it was broken.
Said it was a defensive player, but he can't remember who.
That broke his leg?
Yeah.
I don't know.
We'll figure it out eventually.
Yeah, I hope.
Yeah. All right, well, let's just move on. Next, we had the 49ers coming from behind and beating the Rams 22-21.
Yeah, the 49ers ruining their shot at the first overall pick. Real smart, San Fran. Listen, the 49ers have a quarterback out there right now that is a lot like that quarterback coming into the draft from Notre Dame.
Deshaun
I think,
Kaiser.
yes, I think that the 49ers might be a very, very good spot for him to end up. If it's that early, I don't know. But I think next week will be the end of the Trent Baalke and Chip Kelly show
Yeah,
out in San Francisco.
They're both going to get sent packing.
Yeah, I think it's time for them to go. Even though they won this game, I don't care. They gotta go, man. And the Rams have to severely invest in offensive line this offseason. Like, if it's there, pay it. Bring an offensive line in. You have a rookie quarterback who could be great, franchise guy. You have a running back who could be a franchise back. You have a really good receiver and possibly a chance to add to them. Bring an offensive line in there and try to win some football games with it. Jeff Fisher is gone, so maybe they have a chance of winning now because Fisher can't do it. Yeah, I think it's time for them to really look at that front five right there and upgrade it.
I agree with that because they're wasting that good defense.
Yeah. Their defense ain't bad. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. Yeah, they really need to get the line, though, man. I think if there's one thing that teams need to address, like, you can point it out for each team. Like, the Eagles, it's wide receivers and corners. The Rams, it's offensive line. Denver, it's offensive line. You could keep going. The Browns, it's every position on the team.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that.
I know what you mean. All right, then. Next, we have the Cardinals hanging on and beating Seattle 34-31.
Yeah, the friggin' Cardinals. I picked against them this week, and they screwed me over. I think this game just went to show that dude, I've said it, and I think I'm going to stick with it. I think David Johnson is the best running back in the NFL. Right now, I really do.
Well, I saw if he gets 100 all-purpose yards this final week, he'll be the first running back since Barry Sanders to get 100 all-purpose yards in every week.
Every game of the season?
Yeah.
Man, that's awesome. I mean, he's having a monster year. Like, he's 25 years old, too.
And for those that don't know what all-purpose means, it means running and catching.
Yeah, receiving. Basically, anything from scrimmage is an all-purpose yard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, he has 2,074 total yards this year, 20 touchdowns.
Very impressive.
So that's the best running back in the NFL right now, in my opinion.
I agree.
And he was a third-round pick out of Northern Iowa, so that's what you call a steal in the draft.
Well, you could see flashes late last year. You're like, this kid's going to be something.
I saw a big beam of light right in my eyes when I went to the Eagles game and saw them play the Eagles that one Sunday night, and that kid had a monster game.
I remember. We'd like to forget, but we remember.
Mm-hmm.
But Arizona being the thorn in Seattle's side.
That's the way it should be, you know? Like, when you're a division rival, you should always have a shot at beating your other teams in your division. Like, I mean, even when one is up, one's down, it's always cool to see the rival come up, you know, step up and upset a team. It's always cool, in my opinion, to see that happen, because then you never know when you're going to get a really good game out of what you think could be crap.
Yeah. I agree with that. Lance
now let's move on to a stinker.
Yeah. Lance said real quick, we'll talk about it since it's the NFC West. He said he thinks the Rams need bigger receivers because he thought most of their receivers are small.
Yeah, they need at least one bigger receiver. I agree with that for sure, because Austin and Britt and them are smaller guys. Yeah, they could use an Alshon Jeffrey type of guy.
Yeah.
which is obviously a possible free agent.
Yeah, you never know.
Yep. They could definitely use bigger receivers. Hey, they can have a couple from the Eagles if they want bigger receivers. They're not necessarily going to be good, but
they can take them. Yeah.
They could have Green Beckham. Matthews is a small guy. There you go. Give us your running back. We'll take your receiver.
Yeah, there you go.
We'll take your running back. Give us your receiver. We'll give you a receiver.
All right. Moving on, we have the Saints hanging on and beating Tampa 31-24.
Yeah, man. It's pretty much effectively ends Tampa's year, I think. I don't see they can't.
So many things to break for them. It's like almost impossible.
It's not impossible, actually. They need Detroit and Washington to lose, and they win, and they're in. That's all they need. Yeah, that's all they need.
So I saw something crazy, like the Bucks needed like the Giants and the Redskins to tie, and then like a couple AFC teams to lose, like something ridiculous.
What, to get in this week?
Yeah.
No, they just need Detroit and Washington to lose, and they win. They're in.
You're sure?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, well, then I read it wrong then.
As far as I could tell, because if Detroit loses, they're 9-7. If Washington loses, they're 9-6. Wait, they are out of it, right? No, if Washington loses, they're 8-7-1. If Tampa wins, they're 9-7.
Okay.
And their conference record would be the same as Detroit's, and I guess maybe they have a breaker in there somewhere.
Okay. Then I read it wrong.
Yeah, I don't see why AFC teams would come into play, but
I don't know. But
look.
The Bucks did not show up in this game.
Yeah, look, man. Detroit's playing Green Bay. Green Bay can definitely beat them. Green Bay wants to beat them because that's for the division. Washington's playing the Giants. The Giants definitely want to win that game. Tampa Bay has the possibility of stealing themselves a playoff spot on Sunday. A good possibility, in my opinion, because they're playing Carolina, a team that may be done, who may have just pretty much
it in.
Yeah.
All right, then.
But back to this game. Yeah, back to this game though. What we were
I was saying the Bucks just came out flat.
Yeah, they didn't come out flat so much. Like they were right in it, and then they really just like started to fall apart.
Yeah.
And then Breeze late threw the touchdown late in the third, and Winston threw a couple big interceptions. Didn't he throw one really bad one?
Yes, into like triple coverage.
Yeah, well, he threw it. I know he threw a couple bad ones. Yeah, this game I was watching this. It was on Christmas Eve evening, so we were watching it at my aunt and uncle's house, and I was like, I just didn't see, like, Tampa just didn't look like they were going to win the game at all from the start.
Yeah, I agree. All right, moving on, we had the Texans surviving Cincinnati 12-10.
Yeah, this is the stinker right here. This game, they clinched the AFC South.
If you like a defensive game.
I really don't like defensive games. I mean, it depends. If it's a defensive game, like two rival teams, and it's like a fight. Yeah, this game wasn't that, though. It just wasn't good, man. Like, it just wasn't.
Does just enough to help the Texans win.
Yeah, he kind of did. Yeah, their defense did more, though, to help the Texans win.
It wasn't pretty, but they figured it out.
Yeah, hey. I guess they're going to go into the playoffs with Tom Savage as their starting quarterback. Good luck with that, but yeah. But hey, you could say the same thing with Brock Osweiler. Good luck with that.
Exactly.
But yeah, this game just was not very good, in my opinion. It just wasn't good. If you took the under, you were very successful with the betting.
Like just said, this was the ate too much turkey game. It was just blah.
Yeah. We don't eat turkey for Christmas down here, though.
Yeah.
We eat ham.
That's true.
Well, most people do.
But not much to really talk about with this game, so we'll just move on.
Yeah.
Next.
We're fat Americans. We kill all our turkeys on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, there you go.
We got to rebreed them and get them back for next year.
Yeah.
They're all going by Christmas.
All right. Next, we have the game of the week: Steelers beating the Ravens 31-27.
Yeah, man, this was absolutely, in my opinion, like you said, the game of the week. It was a fun game, man. Like that run that kid had for Baltimore late, Jusic or whatever his name is. I don't know how to pronounce it or spell it. A lot of Z's. That run was amazing. That may have been the run of the year if it won the football game for him. But you come back down, Roethlisberger makes probably a bad throw short of the goal line, and Antonio Brown just wills his way to get the ball across the goal line with one hand and reaches out, possibly fumbled it and cost them the game. You know,
that was an all or nothing play.
That was an amazing play, dude, by Antonio Brown, and it paid off, man. And I don't know if you saw, but I tweeted, I was like, why can't the Eagles find a stud receiver like him in the draft? Like, he was like a fifth round pick, man. Like, fifth round picks are not supposed to do that. It was a sixth round pick, the 26th pick in the sixth round out of Central Michigan.
Amazing.
Yeah. Why can't the Eagles get that in the draft, man? Le'Veon Bell has another amazing game.
But these games with the Steelers and Ravens games, they're always fun and exciting.
Yeah, it's another one like we were just saying with Arizona and Seattle. These two teams seem to always show up against each other. Well, Pittsburgh kind of didn't show up earlier in the year, but
it's always like a knockdown, drag them out.
Yeah. Well, I think the big thing is Pittsburgh's getting healthy. And when Pittsburgh is healthy and they got the playoffs in their sight, they become a much better football team.
They're very dangerous.
Yeah.
But
they've been the team that
a really fun game to watch.
They've been the team I think that you can remember since early in the year that I've kind of put my all my eggs in their basket to be the one to beat New England out there in the AFC, and I stick by that, man. I really do.
Lance says, do you think they have the best quarterback, running back, wide receiver combo in the league?
That's a good question. They have the most seasoned one in the league, in my opinion. They have the one that has the biggest possibility of beating you. The one down there in Dallas ain't too bad, I'll tell you that right now. But it doesn't have any experience with the rookie back and the rookie.
Towards Pittsburgh just because they have the championship pedigree.
Let me think. I got to think for a second here. If there's any other, I can't think of any other combo 3-man group like that could really put up a fight.
No.
Yeah, I think it's got to be them, right? The one out there in Oakland was looking pretty damn good until,
went down, yeah.
Yeah, and then Murray hasn't had that great of a last, few weeks, right?
Well, they've been switching him out with the Washington and Richard.
Yeah, he's been banged up, Murray, too.
Yeah.
Because I remember that Denver game, he had a really big game, and then I think he got hurt.
More of a, 3 running back head monster.
I'm thinking, hold on, let me look to see, because I really just can't think of another. Oh, I got a good one too. Down in Atlanta, Ryan, Julio Jones.
Just said.
Okay, there you go. I can't see what Lance is saying, so. Yeah, I think you have. Yeah, that might. Pittsburgh's the best, yes, definitely. But I think Atlanta's pretty good. That's about it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of another one that could be on that level. That's it.
Yeah. I could agree with that.
Yeah.
Lance is saying he's going with Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I agree. I'll go with Pittsburgh. They have the best 3-headed monster in the league.
They're the, I don't want to say underdog, but they're like the sleeper team going into the AFC.
Yeah, they tripped up so much earlier in the year that they've made themselves almost like a sleeper, you know?
Yeah.
But they're healthy now, and they're very dangerous.
I completely agree. All right,
Now let's stinker game coming up.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
The Christmas night game. What a stinker! The Chiefs blow out Denver 33-10.
Yeah, the fucking coal. Oh, again with the F word. Sorry. The coal in our stockings that night. I guess you would say. Yeah, this game wasn't very good. Denver just looked horrendous. Travis Kelce, man, that dude, I believe, may be the best tight end in football right now. I know Gronk is in the NFL, but can Gronk block like Travis Kelce can? And can Gronk stay on the field like Travis Kelce can?
Yeah.
I honestly believe, and I think that Kelce may be the best tight end in the NFL right now.
Yeah, there's... I'm trying to think off the top of my head. That seems fair.
Travis Kelce doesn't have Tom Brady throwing him the football.
Not
Travis Kelce is still putting up outrageously good stats every week. He's got 1,117 yards. He only has 4 touchdown catches, which Gronk is gonna demolish that. But like I said, did you watch this game?
Oh yeah, it was painful to watch.
Yeah. Do you remember a 70-yard touchdown run by Tyreek Hill?
Yeah.
Do you remember who got the block on the outside to spring that touchdown run?
You told me who it was.
Do you remember an Alex Smith rushing touchdown early in the game?
Yeah.
Do you remember who got the block to spring his rushing touchdown? Travis Kelce. Do you remember an 80-yard touchdown reception by Travis Kelce?
No, I
like this guy.
Mind.
Yeah, I'm a Travis Kelce fan, if you couldn't tell. I like this guy. I loved it earlier this year when he threw his towel at the referee and got ejected. I mean, it's not smart, but I like the passion that he has, you know? He's a guy that wants to win. And he's on a team that I think they are also a sleeper. You got to look out for Kansas City, man.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
And I would love to see Andy Reid win a Super Bowl, too. I'm an Andy Reid fan. I know a lot of people in the Philadelphia Eagles, like a lot of Eagles fans, are down on him, and you know, I think he needed to just be out of here a year or two before he was out of here.
Maybe even more than that. But I do agree. It was just like things lasted too long.
Yeah, you always remember at the very end instead of the good times. It's always, well, you know, what have you done for me lately? And
okay,
look,
Lance is asking, not to cut you off, is Jamal Charles back in Kansas City? No. I don't think he comes back. I think you cut the cord. They got a nice tandem there with that West and I can't remember the other kid's name.
Where?
In Kansas City. Yeah, where?
And Tyreek Hill too.
Yeah.
But I think Hill is more of a Darren Sproles type of back. I don't think he's going to have big games every week, but I think he's going to make you big plays when you need them and stuff. Kansas City's thing is right now, man, is their defense is pretty good too. Like we gotta remember, they have a pretty good defense out there too. They have an all-pro safety in Eric Berry, and who else do they have? Tamba Hali, Poe. They have some good defensive players.
Is really good.
Which one?
I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but they said he led the league in interceptions.
Yeah, I can't remember his name either.
But you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah. They just have a good team out there, man. And look out. You gotta look out for them because you never know.
Hey, that's interesting. Lance said if Charles gets dumped, Green Bay would be a good spot for him.
Yeah. If he could stay healthy, especially, man. If he stays healthy, he's a good guy. He's a good spot. He's good for anywhere. You know what I mean? New Orleans would be a good fit for him if he can stay healthy. Which I don't know if they really need him down there with Ingram, but
I know
that might actually be better for him if you have a guy that can take the load off of him.
Yeah.
Denver is a spot to look out for Jamal Charles if he gets
that makes sense.
if he doesn't go back to Kansas City. Who else would need a running back? There's a lot of teams I think he could fit in, man. Detroit is a team that could probably use a good running back. Maybe Baltimore. I don't know.
Yeah,
he doesn't really fit Baltimore's offense. Baltimore to me is more of a pounding type of offense.
That's
but Green Bay
offense.
Yeah, Green Bay is the spot too. Like Lance said, I agree with that as being probably one of his better chances to succeed.
Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, let's move on. The final Monday night game of the year, we have Dallas beating the Lions 42-21.
Yeah, I don't know if you would say Detroit didn't show up in the second half or if Dallas just dominated them in the second half, because after Detroit went up 21-14, Dallas flipped the switch and they were like, we're having none of this. It's over. It's over, buddy.
Maybe it was a little bit of both.
Yeah, Dallas is, they took over, too. The running game took over. Elliott, McFadden, Prescott had 35 yards rushing. That's Bryant first with Detroit.
Yeah.
This game was over with at the start of the third. It wasn't over with at the start of the third, but it turned out to be over at the start of the third.
Yeah, we didn't know it.
Yeah. I really want to see, and like the Giants kind of did it, I really want to see another team take Ezekiel Elliott out of the game. Because Prescott, I like him. I like him coming out of the draft. I don't have anything bad really to say about him, even though he plays for Dallas, because, he's an asshole since he plays for Dallas. But I want to see another team take that running game out of the game and see what Prescott does. Because there's been, one or two games where he was taken out and he didn't really have good games at all.
Yeah.
All right. And they just said that he's starting Sunday against the Eagles, but Mark Sanchez will get most of the game. And Romo's
just leads into my next question. Lance said, does Dallas limit Elliott, or do they go for him to break the rookie record?
Oh, man, that's a good question. Personally, I see what happens early. If he comes out and he's rushing the ball really well, he's not getting hit hard, you probably go for the rookie record with him. But if you feel like the Eagles defense is actually having a decent game and there's a possibility that gets hurt, I think you pull him back, because the rookie record means nothing when it comes to the Lombardi Trophy,
Yeah, and
I'm pretty sure
your other question, Lance, no Romo. It's going to be all Mark Sanchez.
Yeah, they said Romo's not playing. It's going to be Prescott probably for maybe a couple drives to a quarter, and then it's all Sanchez.
Which makes complete sense.
Yep.
All right, how did we do on the picks this week before we do our last week of picks?
Well, I think I did pretty bad. Well, we do our last regular season week of picks.
Yeah.
Because we had playoffs. I had 8 losses. You had 5. We didn't do too well. I didn't do too well. You did average, I guess you would say. We both lost Giants against the Eagles. Of course, the Eagles would kill me. I had Buffalo. You had Miami. That game could obviously went either way. We both had Washington beating Chicago. We both lost San Diego against Cleveland. We both had Green Bay winning against Minnesota. We both had the Pats winning against the Jets, who didn't. We both had New Orleans winning against Tampa. I had Carolina beating Atlanta. You had Atlanta. We both had Tennessee winning, and they lost to Jacksonville. We both had Oakland winning. They beat the Colts. We both had San Fran beating LA. There you go. That's an upset, I guess, we picked. We both had Seattle over Arizona. We lost that one. I had Cincinnati beating Houston. You had Houston. I lost that. Oh, excuse me. We both had Pittsburgh beating Baltimore. We won that. I had Denver. You had Kansas City. You won that. I had Dallas. You had Detroit. I won that one for 8-5 is what 8 losses for me, 5 for you.
Yeah.
I believe that puts us 4 apart now in the season with you up, right?
Yes.
We'll total it up next week, and I'll have a grand total of what happened. All right, going into this week. You ready?
Yes.
Dallas at Philadelphia. Started off with that one.
Uh, I'll just take the Eagles because with Sanchez coming in and Elliott probably not playing much, they should be able to beat the second stringers.
I agree. I'll take the Eagles as well, just because it doesn't mean much, and Dallas has already clinched everything they can, and who cares, right?
Exactly.
New Orleans at Atlanta.
Ooh. I'll take Atlanta just because it's in their house and they're better at home than playing New Orleans down there.
Okay. I'm going to take the Saints because I need some wins against you, and hopefully this will be what I could get. Baltimore at Cincinnati.
Baltimore.
This is an elimination game, right? They're both out of it?
Yeah.
I'm taking Baltimore either way, but all right. Green Bay at Detroit.
I'm going Green Bay. They're hot.
I agree. I think they're going to win the division, and I think they could be a threat in the NFC, possibly. Houston at Tennessee.
I'll just take Houston because Mariota.
No Mariota. Yeah, all right. That's what I have. Jacksonville at Indianapolis.
I'm going to go Jacksonville because they played really hard last week.
All right, I'm going to take the Colts. I think that they're going to try to save Pagano's job again, so there's that. The Patriots at the Dolphins.
Ooh. I'll go Miami because that's been a big bugaboo of Bill Belichick. He has always had trouble down there.
I'm going to take the Patriots. I just can't pick against New England. That's the only thing I could say. Chicago at Minnesota.
I'll say Minnesota just because the Bears are really bad.
Okay. I got them too. Buffalo at the Jets.
Buffalo, the Jets just look terrible.
I agree with that one. We already picked this game last week. Cleveland at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, we already took Pittsburgh, and Dino says in the chat, steers to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's possible. Carolina at Tampa Bay.
I'm going to go Tampa because I think Carolina's phoned it in.
Yeah, I got Tampa too. Man, we're picking too many games. I'm not going to be able to beat you. The Giants at the Redskins.
I'll go Giants.
I'm going to take the Washington Redskins in this one just because I need the win, and I think Washington might actually win this game. Oakland at Denver.
I will go with Oakland just because Denver really doesn't have anything to play for.
I'm going to take Denver because I think that they really want to finish with a win, to be honest with you. And I don't think Oakland's going to score on that defense this week, not with McGloin at quarterback. That's my only reasoning.
Possible.
Arizona at the Los Angeles Rams.
I'll go the Cardinals.
The Cardinals. Okay. I wrote you down for the Rams by mistake. I just fixed it, though. I got Arizona as well. Kansas City, San Diego. Could this possibly be San Diego's last game in San Diego?
Yeah. I'm going to go with Kansas City even though they don't really have anything to play for.
Yeah, I got to take KC as well. Seattle at San Francisco, not a Monday night or Sunday night game. It just finishes the year at 4 o'clock. Well, this may not be the game that finishes the year. There might be a game that goes later, so
the Packers-Lions is the last game.
Oh, it is? Is it a Sunday night game?
Yeah, they flexed it.
Oh, crap. Okay, well, then that game's in the middle, so I didn't know. All right, well, either way, we picked it.
Yeah, Seattle, that's a lock, I think.
Yeah, I agree, because they need to win. All right, let's see. Let's see how many different we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think I can catch you. I think it's over. Oh, wait, I think I can tie you this week if I get every game right.
All right, before we get out of here, Dino asked a question. He said, are we going to do a Black Monday special for all the coaches that are going to be fired?
It's up to you.
I don't care.
We can do a regular season recap Black Monday type special if you want to. I'm all for that.
Yeah, I'm game.
Yeah, we can do an in memoriam of all the jobs that are gonna all the dead head coach. Well, unemployed. That doesn't sound good. Dead head coaches.
Yeah,
because I think there's going to be a lot of jobs that are going to die on Monday and Sunday night.
Lance wants to know: do we have any college picks for the Final Four that are in for the BCS or whatever you want to call it now?
Yeah, the playoff, the college football playoff.
Yeah.
Let's see. I like Alabama and Ohio State this weekend.
That's what I think's going to happen. Is those two are going to collide in the final.
Yeah, and then I like Alabama to win it all. I just can't pick against Alabama. It's so hard.
Just so good. It's amazing how Saban can just turn it over and he's got like a juggernaut.
Yeah. There is another college game I'm really going to probably watch, though, on the second. It's Western Michigan and Wisconsin. I want to see how Western Michigan does against a really good team.
That's going to be an exciting game, I think.
I'm actually watching college football right now. I got a game on my TV right now.
That's funny.
College real quick. Just real quick. There's a couple games. Michigan, Florida State is a little bit interesting. Of course, the two playoff games. Western Michigan and Wisconsin. Really want to see that. The Rose Bowl, USC and Penn State. Penn State, who might have had an argument to get into the playoff. And then Auburn and Oklahoma. Other than that, I think the bowl games this year have been pretty shitty.
Yeah.
There's Oklahoma State and Colorado tonight at 9 is on. That's a 12 against 10 matchup. But
not too bad.
Other than that, I'm not a big fan of the bowl games this year. And, I mean, it's kind of good because you have a playoff. And I think next year, I think they really need to start looking at extending the playoff to 8 teams.
I completely agree.
Or 6 and give the top 2 teams another bye.
Yeah, that'd be fair.
Give them an extra week and play the 2 bowl games like the week before New Year's weekend or day or whatever, and then you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think every year there's been at least 2 teams that should have probably been in. Like this year, Penn State probably had a pretty good argument to get in, and they didn't
Michigan
get in
for losing that game to Ohio State.
Yeah, it was really close. But yeah, I think I really do think that they should look at opening up and adding maybe 2 to 4 more teams into the playoff.
I agree. All right, everybody, we're gonna get out of here for tonight. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, thumbs up, all that stuff, and we'll see you back next week.
And one more thing.
What?
Have a happy New Year.
Yes, that too. Have a very happy
A safe
New Year.
one. A safe and happy New Year.
Yeah, we'll catch you next week.